Hello, this is QMG bringing you more news on the wonderful world of quantum computing, quantum mechanics. I have a wonderful paper right here. MIT researchers lead high school educational initiative on quantum computing. All right, so and this is wonderful because I have always said that has always been my opinion that quantum mechanics should start in high school, especially now with all the wonderful technology that we have available. We have platforms that anybody can use online to start learning about quantum mechanics, at least about quantum computing. But then the subject of quantum mechanics can come with that, and it comes now. They have the advantage of having something tangible that they can relate to, right? So let's read this one. And it came on the 10th, so just a few days ago. All right, quantum computing has the potential to change the world as we know it, yet limited K through 12 educational resources on quantum computing exist. MIT researchers have partnered with the Coding School, TCS, a technological educational nonprofit, to address this gap. The first of its kind initiative, playfully named Q by Qubit, aimed to introduce high school students to quantum computing through two programs: a week-long summer camp and a year-long course, led respectively by Amir Karamlu and Francisca Vasconcelos of the MIT Research Laboratory of Electronics, Engineering, Quantum Systems Research Group. All right, so it's great that they are having people that are actual scientists who actually have experience, who actually can explain this to students, actually teaching high school students. One of the biggest problems is finding qualified people for these things. And it's good that they're finding people in the higher levels. Although, I can tell you one big difference from 20 years ago is that there's more funding for quantum mechanics. 20 years ago, if if you wanted to go into quantum mechanics, it was kind of laughable, to say to anybody. So things have changed considerably. Now they have something that they can actually do, right? Because it's very important when you're in high school to show something tangible. And now you have actual tangible things that demonstrate that the principles of quantum mechanics, right? Let's keep reading here. An all online format with live instruction by MIT researchers. The program is open to high school students around the United States and worldwide. Okay, the goal of these programs is twofold. First, to excite students about quantum computing and provide them with real-world quantum skills. And second, to increase diversity in the field of quantum computing by focusing on outreach to underrepresented groups in STEM, including women, students of color, and those from low socioeconomic backgrounds. To achieve these ends, they have partnered with MIT Center for Quantum Engineering, which supports the development of U.S. quantum workforce through a range of fellowship programs, educational curriculum development, and quantum-related research activities at MIT. The initial educational initiative is also sponsored by Google, AI, and IBM Quantum. Definitely, there's much more research opportunities. There's much more funding for people that are interested in the field. Hopefully, one of these days I can get my hands on some of that. But anyway, and certainly that's one of the things that have changed considerably. And of course, the point is to be able to reach everyone. That's exactly what these paragraphs are saying. That is the challenge in high school, right? Reaching everyone, right? If we just had, if we could just write down equations and and explain to students very theoretical stuff all the time, well, it would be, I think quantum mechanics would have been adapted into the classroom a long time ago, right? But the challenge is always finding ways to approach the students. And now with quantum computing platforms like the IBM experience platform, it is possible to start initialize the students into something more tangible. So I hope, right, that all of these starts becoming starts appearing everywhere. Part of the reason for these videos really is to make quantum mechanics approachable to everyone. And because a lot of people are misinformed, so a lot of people have a hunger for knowledge, and I'm trying to do that. Okay, I'm trying to satisfy that in the most simple way possible. So hopefully, you watch all my videos and you can get access to so much information. Okay, that other channels don't provide. I provide pragmatic education. Just watch all my videos, you'll see. MIT alumnus Amir Karamulu, from 18, Meg 18, who recently led the week-long summer camp, is currently a second-year graduate research fellow with EQUS at MIT. His research focused on experimental quantum computations and superconducting qubits to simulate many-body quantum systems, and he has been teaching the undergraduate level Introduction to Quantum Computing courses during MIT Independent Activities Period, AIP, since 2017. Now, notice this is an engineer, not a scientist. And sure, I mean, if you want something practical, you want somebody who has, I guess, an engineering degree. But the physics is an important thing too. Okay, let's not undermine that part, right? Physics gives you an advantage when it comes to quantum computing because you understand what's going on. Okay, you can think outside the box, right? Believe me. Let's keep reading. The most the most exciting part of teaching this camp is that we get to introduce quantum mechanics and quantum computing to many students for the first time. Ah. Caramalu says, and through this process, we also get to reach out to groups that are normally underrepresented in our field and get students interested in pursuing quantum computing in college and grad school. I vividly remember the excitement of learning about quantum computation from my freshman advisor, and would like to distill the same enthusiasm in the next generation of scientists and engineers. I feel so jealous because you know what, I had an interest 20 years ago when I was a grad student, and you know what, it wasn't available as much, but now it's accessible to everyone. So fortunately, I live long enough to have access to quantum computers, and they're gonna get better. Hopefully, I live a long life, and just like you, to be able to deal with that more, right? The technology has advanced considerably since my freshman year at MIT. Learners now have access to real quantum processors through the cloud and can learn by running small-scale quantum problems in real time. Exactly, you will be watching my videos. You can see so many the exciting things that you can actually do. Believe me, okay? Many researchers, professional researchers, have published papers running the same software. Okay, so you're dealing with something that that can actually lead to a paper if you're clever enough to put it in that physics framework. You have so much out there that is free. Okay, free for you. All right. Let's continue reading. The camp had approximately 300 participants from 18 countries and 30 states, 70% of whom are from underrepresented backgrounds. Notice how they keep saying underrepresented. Okay, all right, so we get it. For everyone, that's how I like to think. Advanced topics in quantum computing were met with enthusiasm and excitement and overall interest to learn more. During the week, the students coded and executed over 1,000 qubit circuits. Oh, wow. And actual quantum hardware available through IBM Quantum's cloud platform. Wow, I haven't been in that one, but I'm sure it's available, to anybody. And yeah, I guess it depends how you fill out the application for IBM, and that's what I tell everybody: get into a platform, right? Apply for it. It's available for everyone. There are different levels. I started, I guess, because I work for an educational institution that they allow me to use it in some capacity. Maybe not everyone, but they ask you if you're at the research level. Okay, if anybody thinks about doing research, you can always say that to them, and it's available, right? And of course, they gain something by doing so, right? They are getting publicity, free publicity, and I think also the idea there is to learn from everybody. Think about it. You're serving your work right there. So other people, the people from IBM benefit from seeing how you operate the software, right? They can at the same time help themselves, right? Because you're running a lot of things for them, so you're testing it in a way. Okay, so they're getting something from you if you use it. Let's keep reading. Teaching this scam challenged me to think about many of the concepts I use in on a daily basis from a whole new perspective, which helped me a lot as well, says Karam Lu. Karam Lu. I found the experience to be very rewarding, especially after reading feedback that we got from the students at the end of the program. An overwhelming majority of the students indicated that attending this camp increased their interest in quantum computing and that they want to learn more about quantum computing in the future. The program received many amazing testimonials, which means a lot to me personally. Yeah, and it's always good to keep in mind what is the goal with this, right? What is the goal? What are they trying to achieve? How are they going to measure success? And how are they going to keep this functioning, perpetually? I mean, is this just going to work whenever it works? I mean, there are many programs out there, but I've always said, it's more important when you do put it in public schools, right? When that is available to anybody, and that's where you want to, that's where you really want to reach, like they said, underrepresented people, right? That's how you reach everyone, just by going into those little places. All right. Student testimonial from the Qubit by Qubit camp. As a Latin America student, I don't have a lot of opportunities to learn topics like quantum computing or quantum mechanics. The experience was awesome. I enjoyed everything. Of course, it was challenging at first, but I learned a lot, and it made me realize that maybe this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad it's making a difference on people. And I can tell you, 20 years ago, it was crazy to say something like that. Uh, I, so it's a very unique time in history, okay, that students can actually say that and consider it for an actual career. If you watch, for instance, my video on quantum money, that can be an idea for an actual company, right? So a lot of and of course, it's going to require it's going to require some quantum computing to do that. The problem is the technology available right now with coherence, but that could be something where quantum computing can actually help, right? As we discover more that maintains more coherence in quantum systems, for example, right? But you can see that, okay? So definitely it's good. We have people dreaming about it, and obviously they will come up with things that we didn't even think at all, right? I enjoy the quantum computing camp greatly. I have felt a lot of times in my life like I wasn't good enough at STEM to pursue it in the future, and this camp helped me realize this is false. Being taught by MIT researchers who are genuinely passionate about the quantum computing allow me to also get super excited about technology, coding, and the future. It has motivated me to continue to pursue this field and computer science in general, and my own, and perhaps in my final year in high school and moving into college. Okay, I'm glad they are having at least results in terms of what the students say. It seems like they're very passionate. Of course, they're very passionate. Usually, the challenge again, it's in public schools, right? I mean, it's easy to teach to the students that want to be there, right? How about you reach to the students that have never been exposed to it, and have behavior problems, and many other things, right? That's a little more challenging. So that's really where I think somebody can make a difference, right? In the classroom, in an actual public classroom where you have everyone, not just selected people, right? I really enjoy being able to learn about quantum in an environment where it felt comfortable asking questions and interacting with students. The course material was challenging, but not so challenging that it was impossible to understand. And after reviewing it, began to make sense. This was in no small part a result to the amazing teachers who were incredibly patient and clear in explaining and re-explaining things in a simple, understandable way. The camp, the camp got me much more interested in quantum, and I hope to study it more intensively in the future. Great. Okay. More people for this channel, right? More people interested in watching these videos. Okay, and you can make suggestions. Of course, send me a message, and of course we'll cover it. So much to cover. So much. Okay. So much that people have not been talking about all this time. That is weird, but it's science. Okay. Let's continue here. Leading the curriculum development for year-long Intro to Quantum Computing course. All right, this is good. Francisca Vasconcelos graduated from MIT this year with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, computer science, and in physics. Wow, triple major, I suppose. And will be studying statistical science at Oxford University this fall as a Rhodes Scholar. During her 2 years as an undergraduate research opportunities program, a student in the EQUS group, as well as through internship at Rigetti Computing and Microsoft Research Quantum, Vasconcelos worked on a number of research problems related to benchmarking, readout, noise mitigation of superconducting qubits. In her future research, she's interested in studying the intersection of machine learning and quantum computing. Right, so she's very engineer-like, right? Totally the opposite of my background. Totally in physics, 100%. Think in terms of very try to think in term. I try to think in terms of theory, right, more than the practice. But of course, when it comes to quantum computing, it's showing the pragmatic side of all that theory, right? Let's keep reading. Vasconcelos was first introduced to quantum computation and information in her first year when she took Caramalu's IAP course. Sophomore year, she began volunteering for the coding school, improving the Intro to Python curriculum. In 2019, she joined the AIP Quantum Core staff, which was her first classroom teaching experience. Okay. The experience gave her the confidence and enthusiasm to pitch the idea of quantum computing curriculum for high school schoolers to Kiera Peltz. And there you go. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you need experience in the classroom in order to be able to do that, to have the confidence to do that. And as you can see, she got the confidence from the classroom. And I can say the same about myself. Okay. Founder and leader of the coding school, Vasconcelos has since been leading the development of the year-long Intro to Quantum Computing course for high school schoolers, which will launch this fall. Right. And I would suggest to the people that have all these wonderful knowledge, make your YouTube videos. Share it with the world. Right. They want to hear you. Okay. YouTube doesn't have to be for people showing their shoes or their clothes. It can be for actual things that make a difference, right? It doesn't have to be in the classroom, right? Okay, see, we're getting, I pass free information, and you can do the same, right? Okay, look at your expertise, do it. Okay, if you're a quantum person, make your videos, put them out there. Okay, we can have a conversation. We can have the whole world joining our videos, right? All right, let's continue reading. I'm looking forward to introducing many students to quantum computing for the first time through the year-long course, she said. I still remember when I first heard about quantum computers in high school via a YouTube video. I was absolutely amazed. I hope to spark similar excitement and enthusiasm in the kids taking our course while giving them the opportunity to delve further. That being said, it is challenging to make broadly accessible such interdisciplinary content, which most students would otherwise only see late in undergraduate or even graduate school. I am thankful that a committed team of undergraduates and graduate students from MIT, Yale, Harvard have joined me in this effort and continue to find new ways to make the material approachable yet exciting. See, that's where physics people come into place. Yeah, yeah. See, engineers, I can see they think in terms of very tangible things, but then when you start putting theory, they have a little bit of a problem. So that's why you need physics people, okay, with who have really thought about quantum mechanics in tangible ways. I can tell you there are books out there that try to make models of quantum mechanics that can be visualized, and that's exactly what is needed right here, right? And and that's I think you have to have a complete physics mind to do that, right? You have to have a pragmatic mind about theory as well, right? So let's continue reading. The Coding School nonprofit is committed to empowering minorities in STEM. Okay, again, the minorities, we get it, everyone. Students of color, women, students and disabilities, and students from lower socioeconomic status. That's why they gotta go to public schools, right? Yeah, don't make them go over there. You go over there and try to reach those students. That's where it is needed, right? Okay, or put your YouTube videos, make them approachable to everyone, so that they tune in and they get the information, share your gift with the world. The organization has led numerous initiatives to provide scholarships to these groups that enable participation. Okay, when they start talking about too much about underrepresented groups, I can see I can see where the funding is coming from. Okay, sometimes it's conditional upon that, and it's okay. So, all right, building the quantum force from the ground up. Professor William D. Oliver, who leads the EQUS group and serves as a director of the Center for Quantum Engineering, CQE, in the let me make this bigger, in the RLE, strongly supports the development of a diverse quantum force. Again, diversity is a key word here. All right, so so much politics, I think, behind this pure effort. You don't have to wait for some sovereign agency to start putting funding there. If you take responsibility by yourself and you're like right here, okay, putting your face to the world, showing your face to the world, and passing all this information, right? Okay, don't be selfish. Don't keep it to yourself. Make YouTube videos. That's what YouTube should be for. One critical aspect of CQE mission is educating a quantum force. This includes, of course, undergraduates and graduate students at MIT, but there's also substantial work that we can and should be beyond the Institute. For example, CQU, in conjunction with MIT XPRO, has developed a series of professional development courses aimed at mid-career professionals who want to pivot to quantum technologies. Exactly, right? Because you need the science teachers, that went to school 20 years ago. Well, maybe they may not be current, right? So they might need, well, look, maybe you want to go into quantum technologies, okay? There's so much stuff that they missed, and they can provide that education to the students, right? Okay. I recommend they go into the platform. That's why these videos are very important. Pass them around, okay? If you see somebody, okay, just pass them these videos, because you might be doing something good for humanity, right? Notice they are desperate, trying to really get people, giving money, finding excuses to give money to teach these courses to people that are excellent. If you start passing these videos, maybe where it's much cheaper, right? There's so much money that you can that the government can save if you actually do that. So do that. Pass my videos everywhere. Tell them, look, the quantum guy, right? Let's continue. Oliver continues. In addition to reaching to more senior learners, we also have the opportunity to reach junior learners, including high school students. Instilling the highly non-intuitive concept of quantum mechanics in young people will help motivate and prepare them for quantum-related education at university. Of course, and it is not hard to find interest in students. Quantum is cool, and there is broad interest in the strange world of quantum mechanics and how it works. Of course, right? Of course, course, and that's that's exactly why I'm puzzled about quantum mechanics not being like a chapter, one third of the physics book, right? Because this is the most tested theory. It's not like we're talking about something controversial, right? It's not philosophy or anything like that. And maybe the problem is that it's so weird that nobody wants to talk about. It's that ugly, like ugly thing that nobody wants to look at, but nevertheless, it's true. So it's interesting, the resistance people have towards quantum mechanics. I can tell you, as being somebody who really, really loves quantum mechanics for my entire life, I guess, since I was their age, probably. It's amazing that the resistance all this time, to all these technologies, and okay, and here the technology is coming, and they see it as the next revolution, and now a lot of people realize, well, people are not ready. Okay, they're not catching up. Okay, so uh, listen to that. Okay, all right. So let's see. Well, that was it. Okay, so yeah, I guess I would like to, yeah. So I would like to comment a little bit on this one, just very quickly, that uh, really where the focus should be, like I said, it should be in high school, right? And it should be, I think, voluntary. Okay, just like I'm doing. I'm a volunteer here, and you help a lot by passing around this information to everyone, right? You can help me, okay, promote my channel, right? You can just pass it around, okay? Uh, uh, and it costs nothing, right? It costs nothing. All the information that you get here is absolutely free, right? So what can you do for me? Just pass these videos around and tell them about the wonderful world of quantum mechanics. And if you have questions, you can always send me messages, and certainly I cover those topics. Okay. I'm excited, and I'm glad that I have this wonderful platform in YouTube to be able to disseminate videos on quantum mechanics and what's going on around it. Okay. Because I think, as you can see, people are going to the extremes to try to really reach out those students, and they're desperate, right? They're desperate, trying to catch up with the workforce on everyone. Believe me, there's a huge desperation because some countries are catching up and some are not. Some may stay behind. And like I've been saying for 20 years, I knew it was going to come to the point where was going to happen, and it's happening. But okay, lucky for me, I have YouTube to make videos so that I can pass the message. Okay, let's not make that mistake. Okay, we can change the course of history. We can change how things have been so far by creating technology that lead us to the future, right? And quantum mechanics is the way. It's the most tested theory in human history that is right, and it's so weird, and it's ugly, but it seems to be correct, and we're doing wonderful things with it. This is QMG. I'll see you next time.